Hey guys, what's up? We're back with some more reactions after dark, and we are of course going to be watching influencer's billionaire husband was arrested for SA, but she chose to stand by him, obviously by Stephanie Sue. Of course, again, it's been a while since we've done Stephanie stuff. I mean, by a while, I mean it hasn't really been that long. So on Halloween, we did a bunch of random stuff from YouTube. It was all kind of like lame videos, unfortunately, because YouTube doesn't know what to post, but that's fine. And then, of course, last time was Nick Rowley. But now we're finally back to the Chinaverse. We'll probably eventually get back to like the finish off the scariest experiences list as well at some point. But yeah, we're back over here in the Chinaverse, which is still kind of fuzzy on like all of what I'm missing. I do have like a list from viewer, but I think there's still some older ones that I have to still like go back and look for. So we'll get to that when I get to that. So what is going to happen here? Like, why is she still standing, quote unquote, by him? I mean, he's a billionaire, so I mean that's a reason, I guess. But wouldn't you want to divorce and then take the money? Question mark. And then not have anything to do with that. Also, this video is like an hour long, so I guess we're gonna get really deep into whatever the heck happens here. Yeah, I don't know why she would want to do that. Also, when I go off on a tangent here at the beginning, I mean, no one listens to the beginning of these videos anyways. But the ads on YouTube, is it? Oh, hit the mic there, my bad. Is anyone else like annoyed with getting the same ad over and over and over again every time on YouTube? Because like for me, it's Ray-Ban, and specifically the Meta integrated Ray-Bans that I'm assuming are augmented reality glasses. And I'm guessing we finally understand how to make them not look like some weird contraption on your head. You know, like those Google goggles. I haven't seen them in forever. Right? They look like snow goggles, right? I don't remember exactly what they look like because they came out years ago and then just disappeared. Like nobody talks about them anymore or what. And now we have the Ray-Bans, which I'm assuming are augmented reality glasses. If they're just like frames that just have cameras in them, it's like, okay, who cares? That's like old news. But if it's actually augmented reality and you have screens on your glasses, well then, okay, cool. Finally, has gotten to a place where it's not that lame. I feel like we should have had those like 10, 20 years ago. So I still feel like tech is like weirdly behind. Like for some reason, tech just fell off a cliff, and like humans developing it. For some reason, I feel like we should be so much more advanced than we are right now. Since we were just skyrocketing for like what, a century, and then we just fell off a cliff. Anyways, though, yeah, I'm constantly getting the Ray-Ban commercial or a Peloton commercial or HEB, which I've mentioned before. HEB is like a local grocery store here. It's like, can I get something else? I'm tired of hearing the same songs play over and over again in YouTube ads. Like, can I get some variety here? I mean, YouTube probably listens, right? So maybe they'll start showing other things, but like, I'm so sick and tired of the same thing over and over again. The Ray-Bans, the HEB, the Peloton. So come on YouTube, get better variety, question mark. So I don't know what people are seeing on my videos. I know if they're seeing any at all, but those are the three most common ones I'm seeing, I think. Well, guys, if you listen to this, tell me what your most shown up ads are on your videos when you watch people on YouTube, or even when you're watching me. I'm pretty sure anything goes on my channel for like ads, like they can show whatever they want, so who knows what you're seeing. I'm pretty sure it's like curated to everyone, even though I don't necessarily care about. I don't care about Peloton at all, which that's like exercise equipment stuff. where I don't, do you have to pay monthly for that? Since it's kind of like a program too with Peloton, I'm pretty sure, where you have to do stuff, workouts with like a coach who's like attached to your machine or something. Uh, in the Ray-Bans, I don't really care about unless there actually are real augmented reality. Then maybe we have an argument there. And then HEB, I mean, you got to go to HEB to get groceries. I don't need an ad to go to HEB. Like you go to HEB when you need to go to HEB, right? You go to the grocery store when you need to go to the grocery store, etc., etc. But anyways, we can get into the video now because this is already going to take like a century to do, and I am actually waiting for stuff to be delivered, so I have to keep like probably pausing here and there, waiting for that to happen. Which I might as well like just take a peek right now. Yeah, no, nothing there yet. It's supposed to be between 3 and 6 that the stuff is supposed to show up. It's 3:10 right now, so we have a few hours to wait and see what happens.
Hello everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Midnight Mango.
Okay, wait, I feel like this positioning makes me look like a sickly child from the Victorian age suffering from the bubonic plague, but I promise I'm fine. I'm just getting a little bit cozy. Do you guys like the cozy vibes?
Quack, quack.
Anyways, today's going to be a crazy episode, okay? Insane. So we're just going to drop into the middle of it. I have a very pertinent question for you. What if you're a legally wedded partner, and your partner for life, your partner in crime, cheats on you, has an affair, one night stand with someone from work? Would you stand by them? Would you stick with them? Okay, if you ask me this question,
The answer is supposed to be no for everybody, but of course, some people don't completely go through that just because they love / are obsessed with the person enough to be like they can't because like their entire life has been with this person, so just to leave them out of nowhere is just not something some people can do. Or if you're go back and be like a dumb teenager ? I was the one to be like, okay, I'm not gonna leave this person, which big mistake on my part, but yeah, like because I was like a dumb kid, like I can't leave this person even if they did this. So
like I would be up in the comments. Absolutely not. The loss of trust, the loss of everything, the loss of, respect. And then someone would say, but what if he's a billionaire? Some might still say no.
I can never forgive him. It's still a lack of respect. Money means nothing to
isn't especially if he's a billionaire, you would leave him because you're gonna get $500 million. So why wouldn't you want to leave him? I don't understand unless you think taking $500 million isn't going to be enough to continue your lifestyle ? Because his billions will continue to increase and increase, or just stay level the entire time. Where if you take half, the half will dwindle down the more you use it if you're not doing anything. But still, like, if it's really a billionaire, if he's a really billionaire, and you take $500 million, you don't have to do anything for like several lifetimes of people ? So I don't know if that's really an argument or not.
me. Others will say fine.
But I am going to go buy every single yacht on this planet and make him feel the financial pain of cheating on me.
And others will say, maybe it depends. Maybe if I really love this guy. But let's say you thought about it. You can't do it. You're like, I can't do it. That was so disrespectful. I gotta move on. You start packing up your little bags. You're pissed. And the billionaire man comes home. And he's like,
Baby, no, please don't go. You can't leave me. It was a setup.
and you're like, what? Yeah.
The competitor to my multi-billion-dollar business. My competitor, Walmart.
I wasn't really going to assume that this was some sort of setup, because I feel like that's too easy. So is he lying that it's a setup or what?
Set me up.
They set me up. They sent this girl to seduce me so that they can expose the affair and my company shares would tank.
Didn't he just like admit that he was seduced, which means he did do it? I feel like you can't really feel bad for someone who's admitted to being seduced. That's your own fault, isn't it?
Now what? Does that change things? What do you do now? This is the story of a girl from China who was virally known as Boba, the boba tea girl. She went viral from one picture while she was in high school and eventually...
College, I thought. Is it high school?
About to go to college. Like the last day of high school or something.
She's called Boba. Yeah, Boba girl. Boba sister.
Yeah, Boba sister. And she would eventually go on to marry the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Think of going viral in a cute picture.
Let's go back real quick. Is it how you spell sister ? Like down there? Because like I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm questioning it. Like I literally don't know. Because you kind of have You know, because like that is the symbol for woman, basically, right? I didn't do it really justice, but you get what I'm saying. Like that's a symbol of woman. This is almost a symbol for a tree, so that's why I don't understand. I don't know what adding that extra little thing at the top means. And then two of them stacked together equals, I'm assuming equals sister. Like this is boba, I guess, and this is sister. Or maybe not, I don't know, because we're also using like the word for, the symbol for female here too, right? Or at least close to the word for female. So yeah, there's something just weird I was looking at. I mean, nobody really cares, right? But again, I feel like he admitted to saying he was seduced. Because if he was just saying, hey, this is a setup, I never did any of that, well, it's like, okay, then we have something, but I feel like that's too easy to go with. But then you're admitting to seducing. Like the essay, I'm guessing, is, if we're believing him, is fake, but he still cheated. So he was seduced, purposely seduced by this woman, had relations. Okay, so they cheated, but then she comes around and falsely, quote unquote, accuses him of SA to throw him under the bus to get him in trouble because she's a industry plant from a competitor, right? So that's the story we're going with. At the end of the day, you still cheated, even if these people are trying to ruin your life and lying. I think he still needs justice for, like, on his side to protect him from being falsely accused by the competitor, if that is in fact what's happening. But he also cheated, so she needs to leave him for like a $500 million. So there's two wrongs being done here. It's not just him cheating. Like them trying to do this to him is not okay, but then him cheating is also not okay. So it's not one or the other.
And she would eventually go on to marry the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. Think of going viral in a cute picture and then marrying Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Like, forget about what they stand for, which is like a billionaire, a bajillionaire. Like, what a world.
Also, I've never had boba. I'm assuming everyone who's watching this video is gonna be like, "What is wrong with you?" I mean, I'm stereotyping, but still, I'm assuming everyone who's watching these videos has had boba, but I've never had boba because boba became popular during the pandemic, right? I feel like it did. I don't know if it was if it was popular before that too, and I wasn't really doing anything during that time. Plus, I've only been drinking water for like the last decade plus, so I don't really go out of my way to drink things that aren't water. So yeah, I've never had boba. I don't know what it tastes like. I don't know what these things taste like. This is tapioca, right? What these little balls are? Because I'm still not sure what the heck this even is completely. But yeah, haven't had boba. That's probably like a shock to a lot of people, but I don't know. Maybe it's not.
But before we get there, I just want to talk about how I want some bounce in my life. Do you know what I mean? Let me take a sip.
Bounce? Are you talking about bounty? Castify? What is Castify? Bounce, is it music?
Ones. So head over to casetify.com/biz to get
Case.
15% off your new favorite phone case and their cute tech accessories. That's
Okay,
casetify.com/biz
it's just phone cases.
to get 15% off your new favorite phone case. And thank you, Casetify, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into it. I don't even know where to start, but we're gonna start August 31st, 2018. There was breaking news in China, okay? Billionaire Liu
Qiangdong.
Exactly. We're gonna call him Richard because I found out online that's his American name. He goes by in the American business world as Richard.
Richard.
Richard. Yeah, that's interesting because I was like, where did he get Richard from? Because usually, at least for Koreans, it's
Similar, right?
it sounds similar. So if your name is like Chisu, then you might come here and be like, oh, okay, I'll just use Jamie. Like, it's like at least the same J, right? He is the billionaire CEO of one of China's largest retailers. August 2018.
JD.com? What is that?
He gets arrested in the United States on charges of the R word. Instantly, this guy loses a few $1 billion because the share prices for his company start absolutely plummeting. Imagine the CEO gets arrested in a foreign country. You guys have beef in this country. And he gets arrested for R word, like not even insider trading, not even white collar crime, the R word. Oh my gosh. People's minds start exploding. And there are two versions of this story. And it gets so complicated later, but let's start with the two versions. The first version goes, while billionaire Richard was out on this business meeting in the United States, he runs into a 21-year-old university student by the name of Jay. Well, Jing, but we're gonna call her Jay. And we don't know if they knew each other prior to this. We don't know if she was introduced to him by a business partner or like a friend of his. Like, we don't know the connection between them. But they end up going out to an event. Jay claims that she was drunk out of her mind. And she alleges that billionaire Richard took advantage of her vulnerability, went back to her hotel room with her, and asserted himself on her. huge news. If this story turned out to be true, a Chinese billionaire facing serious charges in the US, his company would most likely take a massive hit. And it's really hard to say how many lives would have been directly impacted. Like maybe they would have done budget cuts and there would have been massive layoffs in his company. And then all these like not rich people would be affected. The implications of this were huge. But there is another version of events presented by billionaire Richard himself. He stated, yeah, no, that's not even what happened, okay?
Okay, well, this is like a video of him not in jail. I don't know if that means anything. Like he got away with it. Well, not necessarily got away with it. Does it mean he didn't actually do anything to begin with, right?
Said, first of all, Jay is the one that kept begging me to go back to her hotel room. She was like insisting. She was dragging me back to her hotel room. I mean, obviously not consensually, but she was pulling on my arm, you know? She was, come on, let's go, leading me like a little baby duck. And so I went. And she just kept apologizing about how dirty her little hotel room is. And then she was like, you should take a shower. So what do? Man with no brain. I take a shower, okay? He takes a shower. He's washing up. But then the curtain slides open and in she walks booty naked, and they start doing it. They did the dirty. They lay in bed for a while. He said for about 20 minutes, they're giggle-gaggling, you know, after pheromones, whatever you call it.
No. Anyways, why did she need to put a definition for doing dirty? Like, what's doing dirty? Like, I don't think we needed that definition there. I think everyone knows what it is. I mean, obviously it's for comedic value, right? But still.
They're talking about life, chit-chatting. All of a sudden, knock on the door. It's the police. Open
Shut the
up.
front door.
And she went from being like, oh yeah,
So when are you gonna go back to China?
to being like, oh my God, I wanted me. This is his story, okay? This is his story.
Whoa.
It was absolutely insane. And what's crazy and upsetting about this case, we're gonna get into it later, there's actually a bit more evidence to back up his version of events. And the courts would actually dismiss all the charges against him. But here's the thing. Even if billionaire Richard, his version of events is true, the company was still tanking. He would not be facing criminal charges.
Oh, he's married.
Yeah.
Did she just spoil where the story goes?
But his company could still fail miserably. He could be forced out. He could lose even more billions of dollars. All because, it's not because billionaires aren't allowed to have one-night stands, right? But he's married and he's got a kid. And he had a very public love story, incredibly public marriage with a woman.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gotten over the fact that infidelity is really punishable in China, question mark, right? Like you can get not deleted, you can get banished for that, question mark, because you're ruining China's public image.
Who's pretty public. She's like a public figure.
She's probably at one point the most famous influencer in China.
Yes, and they got married like a year and a half to 2 years ago. So it's not even like they've been married for a really long time. Not that excuses anything, okay? But there was also a saying in China. Do you know the saying?
Which one?
Because I texted it to him.
Oh, 家丑不可外扬.
And then he goes, why did you text me this? And I said, no reason. And then he's like looking at me all crazy. I'm like, just keep it in mind, all right? Keep it in mind. Basically, they say in China, the biggest embarrassment is not actually the downfall of one's business. It is the downfall of your family unit. So this saying is no matter how fucked up your family situation is, you don't bring it outside the house. You don't tell anybody about it, okay?
And then yesterday I got the text message. I'm like, what are you talking about? What? It's like a threat. Don't spread it out. Don't spread around the dirty laundries.
And I refuse to tell him why. And he's just looking at me so confused. I'm like,
Don't worry about it, kiddo.
so anyway, it's a very bad look. And his company shares dropped 10%. The first 2 days the news dropped. Do you know how much 10% is? He lost $7 billion in 2 days. Like a billion. And it seemed like the only one that could pull him up, that could stop the share prices from dropping, that could stop a whole economy basically from having a show over this, was his one and only beloved wife. Dun dun dun. Would she do it?
Bubble girl.
Bubble girl?
Oh, Boba girl.
So let's talk about both parties of the marriage so that we can better understand what kind of relationship this even was. Like, is this a financial arrangement? Was this an arranged marriage? Do they actually love each other? Like, what is it? Was it love at first sight? What's going on? Just keep this in mind. We kind of stand Bubba girl. She's controversial, but I don't know.
I assume it's just a standard guy is a billionaire, she's young, pretty, just mutual business decision, question mark. You can argue. She wants the money, he wants cute young girl, yada yada yada. Though who knows if that's actually the case. That's what you assume by default, right? Is what's going on. Again, he still cheated, even if his story is true. And apparently it might actually be what is seen as true. But still, he still cheated, and China's like, no, you're not allowed to cheat. You get banished for that.
I don't know why I stand her, and maybe it's because I don't know every single controversy about her, but she seems cool. She seems really cool. Boba Girl is the billionaire's wife, and she is literally called the Boba Girl because a picture of her went viral the last day of high school, and it looked like It looks so casual. It's not even her high school picture. So basically, she's got her backpack on. Everyone in class is standing up, and she walks into class holding a boba. And she said she was holding a boba to celebrate that high school was over. And her friend takes a picture of her. She doesn't even have makeup on. Oh my goodness. She goes, so everyone is berserk over this picture. I am berserk over this picture. She is so freaking pretty. She looks like a natural, beautiful, like how do you even look like that in high school, first of all? And how do you look like that without makeup on?
I think it's kind of one of those like random things. You remember the guy with the mugshot that went viral?
Oh god, this guy. That is such an old picture. Like, I was not...
Kind of one of those like random things. You remember the guy with the
I wasn't expecting to see this guy ever again. How many years has it been since I've seen this dude's face? This random criminal? Question mark. Was he a criminal? I mean, this is a mugshot. I mean, I'm assuming he did do something bad. I mean, he has a teardrop. I forget what the teardrop means. Well, a colored in teardrop specifically, because it either means you killed somebody or you've lost somebody. So I looked it up on Google just to see, and filled in, it looks like it's filled in, right? Filled in is supposed to be that you're admitting to having murdered somebody or gotten revenge for a murder that happened to someone in your gang, question mark. Though, I mean, it can mean anything. You could just be faking it too. Just because you put a tattoo doesn't mean you've actually done anything. We know we had people with these tattoos in my high school, which is why I know this kind of stuff. Because I don't know if I mentioned, but I didn't really go to a good high school. I mean, most people there were... Well, you can argue that most people there were gang members, question mark. So, yeah, again, filled in teardrop is allegedly saying that he's a murderer. And yet, but it's like, okay, look, he's so hot. Like, people don't know, people don't care, right? I think he tried to become a model. He might even have become a model once he got out of jail. Just because of how hot he is. Like, nobody cares that he's, literally says on his face that he wants to, or that he has killed somebody. Allegedly. Like, I guess nobody really cares. It's just like, oh yeah, he's hot. Let's make him a model.
mugshot that went viral? The model? It's kind of like that. You can't really explain why. Yes, you can see, okay, he's attractive, but it just went viral overnight. It's just like all of a sudden everyone's talking about this person.
And they called her Boba Girl, not because she was holding a boba, but because they said,
Look at her. Look at her. She's like a boba. Sweet, you know, perfect creamy skin. Just so innocent looking. What a treat to look at.
that's what they said.
Someone took it and they just posted on like a forum or something, like a school forum, and it just went viral. And this was
Of course, I've never seen this picture before.
when? Do you remember when? Like
Like 09?
Yeah. So at that point, there wasn't quote influencer yet. So
Oh,
she was
9,
the
Jesus.
first girl that went viral on the internet.
Okay, so that implies that boba tea was something that has been around since 2009. Oof. Because I could have been or not have been in high school at that point. So I might be as old as her, question mark, if that was 2009. I might be like a year younger, just because of how things were playing out back then. But yeah, I'm guessing maybe boba tea just wasn't something that showed up until way later over here. Right? But of course they had it first, because I'm assuming it's like something they invented over there. Not necessarily in China, but just on that side of the world.
Oh yeah. Can you give me my iPad actually? I have a whole presentation, okay? So there's 4 categories of faces in China that you can be categorized as. And this is literally just aesthetic, so it's, I mean, you know, if it's offensive, I'm sorry. But they call it spicy, sweet, salty, bitter. Those are the 4 face categories. And I'm like, bitter? I just don't want to be bitter. Oh yeah. Let me show
I
you.
think bitter is just supposed to be unconventional.
It's all in Mandarin and it's on Douyin. Okay, Douyin makes you like verify that you're a human by giving the cat the face. Oh. Here you go. You gotta translate. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. So,
Yeah, right.
so it's sweet, spicy, salty, and bitter.
Number 1, you look at the shape of your face. A is if your face is rounded, very soft, very round. B is your face is a little more square or a little longer. So
I
if your
would-
face is round,
yeah.
or like they call it a duck egg shape.
So rude.
Number 2 is you look at your chin. If your chin is short, you choose A.
Okay,
if
wait.
your chin is long, you choose B.
For reference, for people, is my looking at the picture and look at me because it's so hard to tell. Am I short or long?
I think you're medium. Okay, I'll go for B. I'll go for B.
You think my chin is long?
No. Honey, I'm just looking at the photo. It looks closer to
I mean, in my opinion, Stephanie's face is long.
So just do
Okay,
B.
so guys, my chin is long. If you have a chin like me, if you're the crimson chin like me.
Okay, number 3. You look at the shape of your eyes. A.
Hey.
Okay, your eyes are big or small, I guess. That's
Okay.
what's saying. I guess yours look like A, so go
Okay.
for A. And then you look at your nose. So this is look at the bridge of your nose.
Mine's flat. Come
Yeah,
on,
so
get out of here.
flat, A is flat, B is tall.
See, if you guys have a nose like me, you an A.
Number 5, look at the shape of your mouth. Is it small or is it big? Small, you choose A. Big, you choose B. I think it's A. Okay, next one. Oh, okay. They say if you get more A, that means your feature looks a little bit younger. If you get more B, that means your feature looks a little more mature. Also, this is just a very like,
This is like an internet quiz. Like, what cat are you?
but I think a lot of it also is based on like Chinese feature versus
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone's feature. So just, you know,
Take it with-
this is a Chinese test.
Yeah, in Mandarin. I can't even do
Okay.
it.
Next one. A is if your feature is very soft. B, oh, no. C is your feature very soft. D is your bone
Striking.
structure is very prominent. So you're definitely a C.
I'm gonna be all C's, yeah.
Yeah. And then look at your eyes. Is it more rounded or is it more slim? Slim.
Well, you know, again,
You're a C. Your eyelids. Double eyelid or single eyelid? Your double eyelid. And then you look at your nose. Is it more rounded and they say meaty versus bony and slim?
so a C.
And then you look at your lips. Is it thick or is it thin? I give you a thick. You get a C.
Everyone in the comments like, those are thick. Those are the thickum.
They're saying if you get more C's, that means you're more curved and you're more stunning. Okay? No, I'm serious. It says stunning.
outta here.
D, if you get more D, that means you're more straight line. You're more long lasting almost. Your feature looks more beautiful
Like
with time.
timeless.
Timeless, yeah.
Oh, and like kind of maybe more like charismatic. Like
Yeah,
in Korea we call
timeless,
it 매력적이. Like the longer you look at it, the longer
Yeah.
you're like, oh.
Okay, now it's the final moment to know which flavor
Yes.
you are. If you get more A and more C,
Yeah.
you're sweet. More A, more D, you're salty. More B, more C, you're bitter. More B, more D, you're spicy.
Okay.
Okay, and here's the meaning.
Yes. I also have the meaning.
Oh, yeah, okay, go ahead then.
So basically, you know, I know salty and bitter sound like the lesser ones. They're not. They're actually just very different. Like the verbiage behind it is interesting. If you're sweet, that just means you're very rounded. And people interpret this as people that kind of strike as more cute or having innocent facial features.
Sure.
So not really a sharp jawline, not a crazy arched eyebrow, just like your typical girl next door vibes. And then you have spicy. Okay, this is like, see, people always kept putting Lisa in there. So like very sensual, just kind of sharper features, has like a very alluring look, you know? And then for salty, it's actually considered not salty. Like salty sounds like a bad word, but it's considered a very clean and refreshing look. A lot of people reference K-pop idol Crystal from FX. Kind of has like this like not too see, not too sweet, but has like a very chic look. And then bitter, they say, are said to have more structured features. But instead of like a spicy person's high cheekbones, they have slightly lower or flatter cheekbones. And they're said to have more of like a mature, alluring, like sophisticated look. Like a more powerful look. Like you think like politicians in movies. They're gonna be like the bitter face. Am I pretty accurate?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you look at that, okay?
So, and basically for Stephanie, you're sweet, so you should not go for the spicy look.
Yeah, but I try every day.
Don't try to be spicy.
I try
It's just
so
not
hard.
your vibe, you know what I mean?
What are you doing later tonight? What time you get off?
Allegedly in China, a lot of guys like the sweet look. When you have a
course.
spicy, salty, bitter look. Okay, this is so true. It's like the female gaze. I want to look spicy, salty, or bitter. I don't want to look sweet. But then they were saying in China, a lot of guys like sweet. It's just like a very different vibe. And the picture goes viral, and instantly Boba Girl gets a lot of fanboys in particular. Like these boys are going crazy over her, like foaming at the mouth. Just, oh my God. And they just keep saying,
Oh my god, I wish I had a girlfriend one day that looks like Boba Girl. Boba Girl is like the sweet next girl. Oh my god, she's effortless. How can someone look like that without makeup on? Oh my god, like you can't help but feel happiness when you look at her picture.
insane. And then you know how like when someone gets viral, even like a Pinterest picture goes viral, they have like a little moment of fame and then they dry down. Not Boba Girl. A series of events push her deeper and deeper into the spotlight, and none of them are her intentionally doing it.
Really?
Yeah, she doesn't like care about social media. She doesn't care about being an influencer. She literally had nothing to do with this. So the first being that a lot of her classmates started coming forward and being like, oh my God, like our friend Boba Girl is going viral right now, right? But did you guys know Boba Girl is not just like this cute little girl? She's so f***ing smart. And everyone is like,
Okay, get out of here. God is not that nice. God is fair. How smart could she be? God is fair.
they said, yeah, you want to know how smart she is? You know how there's a college entrance exam? In China, you can only take it once. It's like the SAT. But you know how in the US you can retake the SAT? You can't do that. So your whole life depends on this one score, one chance.
I
Yeah.
think you could.
That's kind of rough if it is that way. I think in Japan, like, you can maybe keep taking it multiple times. Obviously, over here, I guess, you just said you can take the SAT over and over again. I think it's the same way in Japan, or at least it seems that way in Japan, just from like anime, but you can't really trust anime, right? Don't know anything about China, though he's about to say like he thinks you can take it again.
But it's pretty hard to do.
Like, you gotta have a good
it
reason.
kind of mess you up already. Like you basically you have one chance, make it or break it. You know,
Yeah.
you prep for a year for this moment, that type of thing.
This one moment determines your future in the whole, they call it the only fair chance that everyone gets in life, which I don't think is accurate because, I mean, think about the groups that can afford tutors and stuff, you know what I mean? But anyway, whatever score you get determines what university you get into, and that directly determines the future of your life for the rest of your life. And when you get your entrance exam score back, what you do is you can only apply to 2 universities. I didn't know that. In the US, you can apply to how many ever universities as long as you can afford the application fee? Two. And you have to make sure, because they make it very public what their minimum score requirement is. So for example, Beijing University, one of the top, has a score of 710. Other universities are like 500. So 710. But let's say you have a 715, you apply for Beijing University.
Beijing University is basically Harvard of China.
Yeah, that still doesn't guarantee you a spot. Because everyone applying to Beijing University, if they're using their one of two choices, they all have over 710. I mean, just think about how cutthroat this is. Well, Boba Girl didn't take her college entrance exam. And you're like, oh my God, what are you talking about? That's literally unheard of. Is she not planning on going to college? Are her parents just freaking loaded? A college reached out to her. Tsinghua?
Tsinghua is like
Yale.
Yale, yeah.
They reached out to her and said, hey, we're guaranteeing you a spot.
Why?
Like, just agree to come to us.
Wait, why?
Her grades were that good.
No way.
Yes. She didn't.
She's Baosong, like those, like they reach out, yeah.
Like prodigies type vibe.
Oh, this was before she got famous, right?
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's why she's chilling with a boba and everyone's like stressing for the college entrance.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's like celebrating.
Also, just give some context. Like, in America, like, let's say a girl who's popular.
Yes.
What do you imagine a girl that's popular in high school?
Like
What does that-
cheerleader, popular, fun.
That's popular.
Oh yeah, in China, no.
In China, it's like you're cute, and then if you have good grades, that's like the it girl of the school. Like the whole school goes crazy for a smart and a cute girl. If you're good looking, but your grades are terrible, nobody would. So in a lot of those movies, coming of age movie, it's always a very smart girl, but that's also cute, meets a bad boy, and then they fell in love. It's always that thing. Okay.
It's always, yeah, they care about your GPA
Yes.
to be popular.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Yeah, so she's already guaranteed a spot at Tsinghua University. I mean, think about Yale reaching out to you and saying, hey, don't even bother with the SAT. Like, we got you a spot. That's fucking nuts. That's nuts. So she's going to Tsinghua University. And while at Tsinghua, they make everyone take internships while they're studying. I don't know if it's like all 4 years or if it's a semester or 2 semesters, but they have like an internship period. And typically, I mean, considering this is one of the best schools, but it still has quite a bit of people, and you're still competing with like Beijing University kids and all the other Ivies of China, right? So unless you're like top of the top in these types of schools, you're probably going to be like a marketing intern. You're probably going to be like an intern for some smaller companies. She gets an internship in the Chinese branch of Microsoft. Literally, Microsoft.
What the heck? Literally has a picture with Bill Gates. Was not expecting to see Bill Gates in this video. Was anyone expecting to see Bill Gates out of nowhere? Like, what the heck? Bill Gates jump scare?
In China, but it's not just any internship where she's running and grabbing coffees. She gets promoted as a product manager.
Wow.
Some of the people that she is overseeing are not interns and are fully college graduated, college educated, experienced in the workforce type of individuals. And she is the product manager.
So she's very smart and intelligent and impressive.
Oh my God, I told you I stan her. I don't know about all of her controversies, but like just knowing this, I freaking stan her, okay? So freaking smart. I mean, just think about how much potential she must have had to even get that at a college age. Insane. And then there was a part of the Microsoft team in China that was developing an AI technology. This is like way back then, so not even like recently. And during the initial launch in China, Boba was at the conference and she was on stage presenting the AI features.
You're just gonna call her Boba now?
Oh yeah, Boba's sister.
It's okay, just call her Boba.
Okay, it's so cute though, no? Boba?
Yeah.
Boba's sister, okay? And she comes back into the social media circle when she makes a guest appearance on a show called Superbrain. Have you seen it?
最强大脑, yeah.
I'm telling you, China is crazy because, you know, the popular girls, they're all the smart ones, but also their reality shows. You know how in America we're all like,
So the reality show is how long we can survive on this boat without having skies.
that's the reality show, right? In China, they be doing, he's watching these all the time. It's like genius kids, come take tests. And he's like watching them break down mentally and they're like, I can't do this. And then they come back rising as a phoenix and they get the highest score. And I'm like, how is this fun? How is this a reality show? There's one with like lawyers who are like superstar lawyers.
Yeah. So it's cool. It's like internship. A bunch of genius kids go to a corporate firm and then take on cases and stuff. And they're all just college interns. So you see them breaking down, adjusting to this, like, and they're all like excellent genius kids. Not kids, they're in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to watch that. I mean, I'm already not watching television to begin with, but freaking show about taking tests? Question mark. I mean, what would be the closest thing in America? Are you smarter than a 5th grader? And that's, you could argue, like, are you smarter than a 5th grader is probably like what? Like literally elementary school. Like literally compared to what they're talking about. It's like so insignificant compared to what these shows that are being described here. Like that's the only thing I could think of is something like that. And that's literally nothing.
In college.
Yeah, it's so weird. I'm like, ugh, this is not as interesting as Suits. Come on. Like, what are you doing, right? Well, they have this thing called Superbrain, and they have the most out of the world smart, intelligent people. Like, their IQs don't even make sense. Their ability to solve problems and equations don't make human sense. Like, in my mind, it's not comprehensible. So imagine one of the tasks that they had are 50 numbers flashing across the screen in 20 seconds. So that means every number is there.
I guess you have to remember them in order, which is kind of crazy, I'm assuming.
Seconds. Not even a full second, and you have to add them all up.
Oh, you're adding. Okay, that's fine. Well, if you're, again, if we're saying they have like 1 billion IQ, they could just see the number in their head and then add it as they see it. So like first number, okay, we know what our base number is. Okay, next number, add that to that. Now we have our total, then add the next one. Now we have a total, add the next number to the total, add the next number to the total, and then so on and so forth. And you just keep that number in your head?
numbers is like all sorts of crazy ass
So the
numbers.
closest to the final correct number or the correct
The
number?
correct number, honey.
Oh,
It's not a ballpark. You don't get a cookie for being like 100 points off.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
And all of them are doing it. And they're standing there. They don't even look that phased. Their eyes are just like. And I'm like, you tell me 1 + 1 + 3 equals. And I'd be like, hold on, hold the front door.
Stephanie's like, hey, what's 30% off 120? Honey, what's 20% off $100? And I'm like, are you serious? And she's like, yeah, hurry up.
And then I'm like, okay, now do +8% for tax. So, I mean, they have to have insane, my leg is just out like a Korean action, but they just have to have insane mathematical skills. I'm just feeling so about myself. There were even 7-year-olds on the show. 7 years old! Just run me over right now. So for Boba to not even be a contestant, but to be a guest host, that means that the show recognizes that she is that intelligent. They recognize her intelligence. And of course, she's giving visuals the whole show. She's given it, okay? So everyone is like, that is enough. Enough, enough, enough. I can't stomach it anymore. Don't tell me she volunteers poo and has like a philanthropy because I will throw up and she's too perfect. She's a national gymnast.
Oh.
Yeah.
What does she do?
I don't know. She won like a bitch.
What?
Too intrigued.
What?
So she's got the looks, the accomplishments, the talents, everything, and her name starts spreading like crazy. Everyone either wanted to be her or they wanted to date her. And every parent was like, if that can't be my kid, I want my kid to date her, you know? She was the epitome of the perfect it girl at the time. And someone else hears about her. Very rich man. Not the billionaire Richard, but very another rich man by the name of Zhang Yimou. A director. Yeah, he's like a famous director that's been the head of massive, massive projects in China. And imagine the director of Barbie or Oppenheimer or even like the Avengers Endgame movie. Think that level of director. He was actually known as the dream maker of sorts. So his favorite thing to do was to pluck female actresses that had nothing and turn them into stars. He would always pair fresh-blooded female faces.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Zhang Yimou?
Oh, Zhang Yimou.
That's what I said.
I met him.
You met him?
Yes.
And he just, makes these female actresses and they would be like the talk of the town. He's helped create some of the biggest names in the industry and they're always referred to as Zhang's women. Not like in a weird way, I think, or at least I didn't pick up that it was, but more so that these women became popular after working on his projects. Like this director took a chance on them because, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
even A-list actresses would be honored to work with him because he's that big, but for him to pick a nobody and cast them, like it was an honor, right? So he was casting for a new movie at the time, and the movie was Under the Hawthorn Tree is the name, and his main lead is supposed to be this innocent-looking, fresh-faced girl, and he looked so hard, so far and wide. He traveled to 16 different cities, looked at over 6,000 audition tapes, and none of them checked off his boxes. He's picturing a very specific type of face for the role, and he comes across the viral Boba girl. She was 17 at the time. He reaches out to her, and he's so confident. Like, imagine macho, successful movie director reaching out to.
Hold on. What is this timeline? She's 17 at the time? Because now we're muddying the timeline. Because we're not going in order chronologically now. Because if she was leaving high school in the Boba image, she wouldn't have been 17. If she was 17, well then maybe we're the same age. But she should be at least 18 at that point, right? From taking that picture, because it's like the last day of school. And then she moves on to doing, like, getting into college and whatnot. But now we're going all the way back to her being 17 and possibly getting a movie role? Question mark? The timeline is, like, getting funky now.
To not even a celebrity or even an A-list celebrity or even the biggest influencer, just like a random influencer and being like, hey, I want you to star in my movie. I mean, this is a no-brainer in his mind. He's all cocky. He's like,
I want you to be in my movie.
and she says,
Thank you, but no thanks.
What? You're joking, right? Like, why not?
and she's like,
Oh, I need to graduate. College, the vibes.
Ooh, I got homework.
College, what do you mean? She should be in high school right now at 17.
got homework to do. So she hangs up and he's like staring at his wall in disbelief. And he's thinking, okay, maybe she doesn't know who I am. Maybe she's gonna call her parents and be like, oh my god, this like weird guy, like Zhang Yimou, he's so famous, he's a director, right? And then she called back, oh my god, sorry, Mr. Zhang, like, right? No, she never called back. So then he gets very frustrated and he's like, you know what, that's it. I'm just gonna fly to
No
Tsinghua
freaking way.
and talk to her. And once I explain the role and once I explain how things work and how she's gonna be super, super duper famous afterwards, she's gonna take the role. So he flies all the way to see her. And then he's pretty much like, I don't think you know who I am or like what I've done. And then she's like, no, I do.
Okay, good. So you, like, want to be in my movie?
No.
I got homework.
Yeah, I got homework to do. He literally begs her to be in his movie 3 different times. This
Wow.
is world's class director, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, if what, like, Steven Spielberg or whoever famous director was like, hey, I don't know where it came to be like, hey, I want you to my movie, I'd be like, no, I don't know nothing about that acting. I don't want to be in a movie, question mark.
3 different times. And she's just not doing it. This story gets out and people are having a freaking field day. Reporters are lining outside of her university trying to get her like input on this because this is the newest hot story of the day. And they're like, why would you say no to him? Like, what was going on through your mind? What happened? And one of the reporters even said, do you know how many people want to be Zhang's woman? And she said,
Yeah, but I don't really care. Ha.
然后马上要进入高三了，就学习很紧张，所以
Studying was intense, so I rejected him without thinking too much. But most people care a lot about being Zhang's woman. I don't care.
And people respected her so much more. They said she chose studying over becoming the next big A-list actress.
Isn't that just, Asian culture in general? Is to only care about grades, 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 grades?
She could have blown it out of the water. Even if she wasn't that good at acting, because she already had this viral sensation behind her, she would have instant hit.
Wow.
But no, she just wanted to study. So she starts growing an even bigger fan base of a lot of guys. And I can already see all the guys in the comments just like pissing people off, okay?
If only all women cared about studying and not their looks and being famous.
Okay, sir, did Boba pick you? She didn't, because she picked a billionaire.
Okay, we're just creating a straw man there, but sure.
So all of her male fan base, they're all thinking, I wonder what kind of guy she's gonna date, because maybe it could be me.
Maybe it could be me, right? In my mom's basement, maybe it could be me.
And people are literally going on forums talking about, like, who do you think she's gonna end up dating? Maybe it's gonna be an actor. Maybe it'll be like a respected actor, not like an idol. Not that idols are bad. I love idols, they're so talented. But they're like saying it's gonna be like one of those sophisticated actors rather than like a pretty face in the industry. So they're like saying all these things. Or they're saying maybe she's gonna date someone her age, like another smart kid. Some people are saying, oh no, maybe she'll date like a just budding politician. Imagine that, right? So many conversations. Early 2014, Boba's dating rumors start spreading around in the US. People started spotting her out and about in Columbia University in New York City, because she went to study abroad there, and there was a man who was also taking like a course there. And they're dating, but he is nothing like what people expected. They were thinking, again, like what I was saying, okay, at the end, bottom line, they were expecting someone hot. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, okay? And they're expecting a guy that looked like they walked out of book talk.
Sure.
CEO, young, rich, handsome, the whole package.
Is there photos?
Oh yeah, there's photos, okay? But judging by the photos, her boyfriend was not that. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen him before. I don't know what he's going to look like in 2014, but we've already seen that he's not too conventional, right? He's probably himself. Not old, but getting close to being middle-aged, maybe. Maybe he is middle-aged.
like paparazzi style shots of them in Columbia.
Oh, Liu Qiangdong was... Oh, you're talking about Liu Qiangdong at Columbia? Wait, Liu Qiangdong was not a student though.
He went for a course.
Oh, they met at Columbia?
They met at Columbia.
Oh, what?
And their dating news broke because Columbia's got a pretty strong Chinese student base.
Wow.
So everyone's like, isn't that Boba girl? And isn't that, oh my God. So their pictures start circulating. And at first it took I would say it took a little bit, not like days or weeks, but maybe like half a day. For people, originally when it started spreading, everyone was like, who is that? That looks like an old professor. Is she dating a professor? Why is he so ugly? I mean, this man looks to be 40-something years old. This is what they're saying. I'm not saying he's ugly. They're saying this man looks to be 40-something years old. She's only 21. What's going on? People could not wrap their heads around this fact. And her fanboys, fangirls, they felt betrayed by this. And they thought she was waiting for them, So everyone starts attacking this man, his height, his looks, everything, until someone is like, wait, you guys know who he is, right? He's the CEO of Jingdong. This is like the Amazon of China. This is like the eBay of China. This is one of the largest retailers in the nation. He is a billion.
Okay, is that accurate? Do we now know what he does? He is Jeff Bezos. He's literally Jeff Bezos.
Billionaire. And now you had two groups of people. Half the people were like, that makes sense. Her life is like book talk, you know what I mean? It's like a romance novel. And then other half of her fan base turned on her and they said she's a gold digger. There's no way that she would like someone that's 20 years older than her and looks like that because she's this pretty, blah, blah, blah. Turns out she's just like the other girls. She's just out here for fame and money and comfort. People were out here sending death threats and ripping the couple apart online. But eventually people realized,
maybe we're just jealous, guys. Okay? Maybe we're just jealous, salty guys.
like, that's what it sounds like. So, they start digging up things on her new boyfriend, billionaire boyfriend. And they try to find some tea. They're like, okay, we're going to take this tea and bring it to Boba and be like, see, he's a billionaire. There's no way he's a good person. And that could still apply. But his marketing might have just been good. His story was really hard to rip apart. Do you know his story?
I heard he has a crazy come up, right?
They could find nothing on this billionaire. Nothing. Literally, this billionaire is actually one of the most beloved billionaires in China. He was actually referred to as the epitome of the Chinese dream.
I don't know if we've heard of him before. This essentially Chinese Jeff Bezos, right? Has he shown up in any other story before? He kind of seems like a very important person if he is in fact Chinese Jeff Bezos.
So Richard was born in a severely underdeveloped village. Every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, he ate the same thing: corn and sweet potatoes. Not like cheesy corn, okay? Just corn. It's all they had. It's all they could afford to eat. But this guy is brilliant. He scored really high on his college entrance exams, and he would be the first in the entire village to get into a university. In the entire village. And he gets in. He pretty much gets a full scholarship, but he can't go because he needs to travel to Beijing. He doesn't have money to get to Beijing from his village. Every villager came together and donated like not even $1 each because that's all they had. And then the ones that couldn't donate money, they donated him like herbal eggs, like tea eggs. And so he made it to Beijing and he ate only eggs for a month because that's how many eggs they gave him. I'm gonna cry. Really good marketing, this billionaire.
But these stories are very true though. Like
yes.
It's I know a lot of people, like one of my friends, he also was from village and he made it out. Right now he's very successful. So he goes back to his village every year during Chinese New Year and he will bring a truckload of food. I'm talking about just rice and wheat and all of that. And he just distribute them to the village because that's something that they actually need and use. And he goes back every year. He brings food for everyone. It's true. It's very, very true.
It's always like so heartwarming when they come back to where they started and get back. Like I think there are some I forget where I heard it. Maybe it was China or Korea. Some villages, they literally have like shrines for this person because they're like the most successful person out of the village, and they do a lot for the village, you know?
Yeah. And usually that's like the pride of the village.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he was so grateful. He's like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I want to make my village proud. So he falls in love with software engineering, and almost every day he would fall asleep in like the computer room of the university. And the first thing that he did was develop a power management system for his hometown. Yeah.
Wow.
And then he created this like catering management system for fast food chains. He sold that. And in terms of intelligence, he was on par with Boba. But while he was at school, he's eating at this restaurant. He had made some money from like the software sales. And he sees a sign that was like, oh my God, restaurant is for sale. He's like, okay, maybe this is how I can make some money while I'm in college because I need to keep making money and send it back to my parents. He's like, sir, how much is it for me to buy the whole restaurant and take over? $33,000. Okay, I will come by it this afternoon. He comes with $33,000 in cash, and the restaurant owner is shocked, and he's like, you're such a young guy, you're not even going to try and negotiate. And
I was like, where did he get all that? But it's because he's been selling stuff, right? We just heard her say that.
he said, no, like, I don't need to negotiate on things that I'm confident in. So he buys this restaurant. The day he takes over, what he learned was, okay, the village gave to me, and I'm going to give them double back. So the employees, they're working for me, so I'm going to give them double. So he doubled every employee's salary and helped them move out of their under basement cellars that they were living in to like good, nice little dorms nearby the restaurant. He actually wanted his employees to be happy while they're working for him, which is rare, okay? And he was probably like one of the best bosses in the area. But 3 months into the business, he's pulling out his hair because nothing makes sense and the numbers aren't numbering and the bottom line is not making sense and he's constantly losing money and he's like a pretty good math guy. Within half a year, the restaurant is sucked dry and going bankrupt. So Richard starts investigating what's going on and he discovered the employees that he had treated so kindly, that he had tried so hard to motivate and take care of, they betrayed him.
Stealing money?
The cashier and the chef were dating. So the host, like the waitress and the chef are dating, and the waitress would go, and let's say for a table, because it was cash only, they would order 3 dishes. She would only log 1 into the system and tell her boyfriend to make all 3. So the customer gets all 3, pays for all 3, but they only logged 1, so they only pay for 1 dish and then pocket the 2 dishes. Cash. They weren't the only ones. Other employees would go buy the inventory for the store and they would say it's like $1,500, but instead it was $1,000, so they would pocket the rest. Not only that, every night because they lived nearby in the dorms that he paid for, they would come at night instead of going out to eat dinner and spending their own money, and they would eat up all of the most expensive ingredients, like all the meat in the shop after closing hours, and they would even feast on all the beer.
Okay, well, is this going to become his like villain arc story now, and he's going to just become so jaded and cynical after this? Like, kicks them all out and becomes like just evil billionaire? Question mark.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, they treated it like it was their own pantry. And just like that, all of his savings went into this and it went bankrupt. And he had one last minute meeting and he said, this was my first time running a business. And this used to be my biggest dream, was to be a business owner. I was very good to all of you, but you know very well what you have done. It makes me sad and I will never return here ever again. He gave them a month's worth of salary and told them to get out. A month's, like the fact that he gave them 1 month's salary even after everything they did to him. Like he really was a kind person at this point in time. I don't know if things have changed, but at that point in time, amazing person. He knew that it'd be hard to find another job. He didn't want them to starve, but he was like, get out of my face. So he said, this is like in hindsight, he later said in interviews, he was very young and idealistic and he had a very innocent approach on humans. He thought to himself, there must be something wrong with me. So what he did was, after growing,
I think everyone have to go through these things to learn that you can't trust everyone.
He starts learning about business management. This is after he graduates. So he starts working for a company for 2 years, not because he wanted to be there long term, but straight up, they're known to have incredible management. Like top to bottom, they're like corporate. And
Okay, again, like now is he going to become like standard billionaire businessman, just being super mean and stingy and I don't know if corrupt's the right word, but you know what I mean. Yeah, just cut there as usual. If you see any random cuts, like I was saying earlier at the beginning, it's just because I keep checking to see if the stuff that I ordered is coming.
And he said, and this is like a really sour outlook on life, so I don't know if you guys agree with it, but this is like one of his most famous sayings. No matter how well you treat people that work for you, if the company has bad management, greed is inevitable. Like human greed is unstoppable, no matter how nice you are. Which is
I
like,
can see that, yeah.
I mean, I would hope it's not true, right?
No, I can see, yeah.
But
It's one of the human nature, yeah.
Yeah, but I like to be a little naive, optimistic, So after all of this, he is working all these corporate lives and he gets a call from his dad out of nowhere. And his dad is like, you gotta come home, we gotta do something. We need money ASAP because your grandma is sick and we don't have funds for medical care. So he's like, Dad, don't ever worry about money. He wasn't doing that well. He had saved every penny from his corporate job and dumped it into buying a new business, a small little electronics store called Jingdong. This is a tiny little mom and pop shop, okay? They sold DVDs because this is back in the day, tapes, like stuff like that, cassette recorders. And he's thinking, okay, why am I just selling to the local customers? The internet had just started. This is like literally Amazon and the book thing, okay? He's like, the internet exists. I mean, maybe I can get like 50% more customers on the internet. He starts selling on the internet and he blew it out of the water, out of the park. 6 years later, JD.com would own 60% of the market cap for electronic record sales. And out of all the billionaires, yes, Wang Sutong included, okay? Wang Sutong gets involved later. I can't.
Of course he is. Of course he shows up. I mean, at least we get some more Wang Sutong.
Yeah, he'd be tweeting again.
On whose side, though? Like, is he going to be mad at one of these two, or is he gonna be hyping one of these two up?
And it seems like the public really liked Richard a lot. They liked the fact that he came from nothing and he just seemed like a very genuine business owner. Public surveys were done and he was actually one of the best well-received billionaires, even more well-received than Jack Ma. So here's the thing. Jack Ma is more well-known in the Western world, but
I don't know who that is.
a lot of people said that in China, if you're going to buy electronic gear, you go to JD. You don't go to Alibaba or Taobao, which is owned by Alibaba Group, right? You don't go to either of those because there's so many fake resellers. And then another thing with Alibaba is it works like Amazon. So the Amazon resellers that have the most reviews get picked the best. That's who they push. So it's, first of all, hard to start off as a reseller, but second of all, these people will buy fake reviews. And it's like kind of a whole system where you don't even know if you can trust some of the reviews, and it really defeats the purpose for the consumer. But JD doesn't seem to have that problem. So people love this guy, and there's no crazy scandals about him. So there was one interview where he was with Jack Ma, and they were all being interviewed in this panel, and the comments were saying things like, "Oh my God, like Jack Ma is a capitalist, and Richard is a true entrepreneur."
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they freaking
What's the difference?
love him. All that to say, when this couple starts dating, they're trying to dig up dirt on him and they can't find anything. And so they're like, okay, fine, let's allow it. The public is like, okay, fine, I guess we're okay with this. We can get behind it now. So people, the only thing was maybe their age gap is a lot, but when you're that smart, maybe it doesn't even matter, is what they're thinking, right? They look perfect together. A year and a half later, the two
Oh yeah, you gotta remember that entire segment on him was to like think about like try to find dirt on him, and that was his backstory. There was no dirt to be found.
get married in 2015, and out comes their first child, a baby daughter. And there's a ton of pictures of them out there. They just look so in love. Like they look at each other with the utmost respect, and even the way that he talks about Boba, he doesn't even care about her looks. He focuses on showcasing how intelligent she is. He cooks for her, you know, and it's just like the cutest. They're in newlywed bliss, you know, and then guess who pops up around the corner ready to f it up?
What's this?
Yeah.
What?
He jumps onto Weibo to tweet, as a student from Tsinghua University, I guess you weren't focusing on your studies. You were so young and you chose to be a anyway.
What?
Oof.
And people were like, what the fork? Boba, class act, didn't respond. But instead her husband tweeted at him, who are you to talk about my wife? Has your dad repaid all his debt yet?
Oof. Does Wong Tong's dad have debt? Who's he have debt with?
Bro, billionaire
dude.
beef is on another level.
Oh my God.
Billionaire beef is just out of this world. I don't even know what to say. So this is kind of when the narrative shifts, you know what I mean? Everyone was so mad at the couple for dating in the beginning, but now that they got married and they proved time and time again about how much they love and respect each other, and how now Big Mouth Wang Tong is up in here trying to attack their love, people were writing and dying for this couple. Now they were couple goals. And Boba was also walking advertisement for JD.com. So because of his relationship with Boba, and I don't know if this would have happened without her regardless, but I think she was a catalyst. So she kind of revamped his multi-billion-dollar company. Prior to this, they sold a lot of electronics and their main demographic were men. But after Boba, they started branching off into other things, even clothing. And she would wear all their clothes, and she's like a fashion icon, and people would start going to JD.com. And she wasn't just like a pretty wife wearing her husband's clothes. I don't know if she has a specific position in the company, but she is rumored to be one of the top high-powered executives within the company. She is always seen in meetings. She networks amongst people like Bill Gates. She literally rubs shoulders with Bill Gates. Like she is very heavily involved in his business. She is not some troll.
Well, I mean, she literally worked at Microsoft, as we saw earlier, and has a picture with Bill Gates.
Kofi wiper, like arm candy that's like, I'm wearing my husband's clothes today. She knows what she's doing. And then the scandal happens. And it was an utter disaster. And before you get mad, and before you're like, Stephanie, how do you care more about the business than a woman who said that she was violated by this man, this billionaire? Are you really on the billionaire's side? They're corrupt. She takes it all back.
Who takes it all back?
The accuser.
Oh, she took back all the statements?
There's body cam footage that was released in the US, and she doesn't take it back
Can you tell me a little bit what was going on
out
tonight?
of fear. So it's not like
Why? Hold on.
Oh, she took back all the statements?
there's
I don't know if
body
she's
cam
gonna
footage that was released
like this or not.
in the US, and she doesn't take it back out of fear. So it's
Why were you here
not like the
and
billionaire is like,
had relations with him
"Oh,
spontaneously?
charges, I'm gonna rip you apart and like ruin your life.
What was it?
She's just
I had relations with him
talking to a cop
spontaneously.
that night that it happened, and she just
So are you you are saying it's consensual?
straight up goes, yes, I had sex with him. And the cop
Yep.
doesn't even being mean. The cop is like, oh, so you're saying it was consensual? And she goes, yeah, it was consensual.
This was taken that night?
I guess, but like, I guess because she had originally reported it, he had to be taken in. But he was like released. It wasn't like
Wait,
he
I'm
was
so
kept in jail.
confused. When was this tape taken? At the police station?
No, so it was in the car of a police car. So what I am gathering, right, is that he was arrested inside the hotel room where she was saying it was R word. And then later, I guess the story wasn't really adding up. And the police have her in the car and she's explaining the situation and she just admits it was consensual. But he had already been taken in and like the charges had been booked. And I think also in the US, things like domestic violence, you can't like take back. Once you utter them, they have to get booked. And then you can like the charges can later be dismissed, but you can't just be like, just kidding.
So that
know?
night,
Yes.
basically that night, the same night she said that it was
Yeah.
our word, she also said that,
Yeah.
it was consensual
So-
without like his presence or anybody pressuring. It was just like a casual
Yes,
statement.
yes. So it's not like she got some threatening mails, some threats to her life or her family's life. Like there was no billionaire
It's so
influence.
confusing.
It was really weird.
Yeah, that makes it even more weird. Like, what the hell happened?
There's so many conspiracies about this, right? But the investigation would take 3 months. They pulled all the evidence that they could. And for a brief moment, people thought that Richard was pulling all the strings to make this disappear. But authorities, they pulled CCTV footage from the restaurant where the two were drinking, and it showed that they actually weren't drinking much, which goes against her claim that she was really drunk. But let's say she's a lightweight, right? Like, we don't know. We also don't know if they drank from the restaurant to the hotel. But I do think that they didn't drink in the hotel, because I'm sure the police would have been able to pull like the drinks inside the hotel or CCTV footage if they went to like the hotel bar. She also doesn't seem drunk in the hotel lobby footage, and it is more on par with Richard's story. So the whole time,
Yeah, because he said that she was dragging him, not unconsensually, like he was going with her of his own free will, but like he said that she was literally dragging him, and this video is her literally dragging him by the arm. It's like she's literally saying like, come here, like come this way. Like it isn't like them locking arms or holding hands or anything. She like is like pulling him.
she's pulling him, and he's got his hands in his pockets, and he has a little bit more of a, I don't want to say submissive demeanor, but kind of more submissive, like maybe more hesitant, like he's not really that excited. He's not skipping. He's just like, am I really doing this right now kind of demeanor. And she's like pulling him and like pointing towards her door, like kind of dragging him, like she's walking in front of him, holding his elbow and like guiding him. But again, that doesn't mean anything. The door could have closed in her hotel room, and he could have taken advantage of her, right? But then we have the body cam footage where she admits that it was consensual.
Okay, then that's really confusing. What the hell happened?
Okay, so the conspiracies are like this. So the first conspiracy is after the criminal charges were dropped. This is not the conspiracy, this is the truth. She filed civil charges against Richard and demanded $50,000. So people thought, okay, maybe she did this because she saw a chance to sleep with a billionaire and then maybe make it a big deal and ask for money in that way, right? But netizens didn't really understand that, because if she was a woman that was in business settings with Richard, she must have been established. So would she really risk her whole career and risk her whole life for $50,000? Like, that doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. So then there was another theory that not even Richard came up with, literally netizens came up with. Who would pay for this type of scandal? If we're talking about money, because money seems to be the motivator here. Because she could have quietly been like, hey, make me an executive in your company so I don't tell your wife. You know what I mean?
Who is the competitor to JD, right? Is it Alibaba? She was just talking about Alibaba. Like, is one of those places a competitor and that would do this?
It seems like money is the motivator. So people said, okay, maybe someone paid her from somebody else, not she's getting money from him, but somebody else paid her, a competitor, paid her copious amounts of money and said, seduce this man.
Jack Ma.
Legally, we're about to get so forked, okay? But Jack Ma, I'm just kidding.
Jeff Bezos. Okay, so people are saying, Jack Ma paid someone to...
No, no, don't sue me. Oh my God.
So someone,
I'm getting hot.
his opponent,
Yeah, his oppa.
his oppa, paid her.
Yes, basically. And they're saying that's why our allegations don't make sense, because she gets him booked and then she's like, never mind. So they're saying it doesn't matter if he's actually convicted. All it matters.
Yeah, just the accusation is enough to like kind of destroy you in modern times. That's all it takes. Like, you don't have to actually have done anything. Just being accused typically will lose you your job and respect from most people who are around you, even if it turns out that it was fake. Most people like don't really care past the first moment, so they'll just assume you're a bad person and then like never look at it again. So you're kind of screwed after you've already been accused.
Is he's accused publicly and there's some sort of booking for it, like an arrest, and he's destroyed. But if it's just cheating, people might forget about it, because I mean, let's be real, how many freaking business owners do you think are cheating on their partners, right? That's what they think, that she got a slamming offer from a competitor. I mean, I can't even imagine how much money that would have been, like stupid money. And the reasoning behind why the competitors would strike now is because
Can't they just look at her bank account?
apparently insiders said that JD.com was coming up with some crazy new business strategy and innovations within their company, and they were gaining a lot of momentum because of the wife as well, because of Boba's influence. And this was supposed to mess up their momentum and lead people to have like a distaste against Richard. He also wouldn't be as sharp anymore, because all of his business acumen, his thoughts would be on dealing with these types of allegations. And even if they were false, I mean, it was tanking. He's still cheating on his wife and his child, so his reputation is ruined anyway. So his company tanks. And this is so interesting to me, but a lot of people, a lot of men, were actually making fun of Boba for this. Like, they were literally making fun of Boba for getting cheated on. Imagine getting...
Huh? That seems weird, and I don't know where that would have come from.
Saying what?
Wang Sitong tweeted, she's no longer Boba girl, she's matcha girl. Because green is like when you are...
Oh, the green hat thing?
Publicly being cheated on and humiliated by your partner, it's like you're wearing the green hat. So they're saying that she's matcha girl now. Like, imagine you're literally the victim and people are calling you and saying that you have no respect and that you got, like, you're a loser. And they also joked about how Richard was tired of boba that only has boba and no milk. So milk in Mandarin can mean boobs.
I mean, of course. I mean, we already knew what they meant by milk, because I did notice.
So they were joking online that Richard was tired of boba for not having boobs. And once the CCTV footage was released, that woman had big boobs. And so netizens were commenting, wow, Richard
I didn't notice.
has a big appetite. I hate this world.
Wow.
So, I mean, I would say, of course, not everyone. Like, most of China supported Boba, and they're like, okay, like, whatever she decides to do, they were pretty certain that she was going to leave him because she's like an intelligent woman. She's beautiful. She's young. She's going to leave him, and we're all going to support her. That's what they thought. And people were just waiting for some sort of statement. And they were expecting your very stereotypical PR statement. They're both sitting there looking down like they're working on our marriage. Now is a moment of weakness, yada, 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 right? No, that's not what happened. Their public statement wasn't even a statement. It was so unexpected. They made a very public appearance 2 months after the scandal was resolved.
Just walking down the street quickly. Who's this guy behind them looking at the camera?
And Boba attended a British royal wedding for Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack with Richard. There was no tension between the couple. They seemed happy in each other's presence. There was nothing. Because, you know, paparazzi, they're crazy. Nothing seemed off. There weren't moments where they pretended to be in love and then dropped hands immediately after. No, they were so happy. And she looked beautiful. She looked so good. And this was Boba's very public, very loud statement that she said, I'm standing by my husband's side and it's business as usual. Business as usual for our family and business as usual for our business, okay? So mind your goddamn business. And everyone was so impressed.
Wow.
Because, I mean, they thought that if she came out and seemed frustrated and talked about how she's going to work on their marriage, they're doing couples counseling, it kind of makes it seem like there's too much going on in that house. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. Like, you know, it's a lot. But this was like reverse psychology. It's almost like, wow, they're pretty cold-hearted, but in the coolest way. Like, they don't give a fuck. They don't, like, why do we give a fuck if they don't give a fuck, right? That's crazy. And I'm not condoning cheating or saying cheaters should be forgiven or saying he deserved a second chance. But the fact that she did this to save his public image and his business and therefore probably her own interest in the...
Yeah, I mean, it's her business too at this point, right? So she has to do whatever she can to stop her business from going under, to keep her money flowing in.
Business. Incredible. They also went back to posting loving things on social media about each other, just like straight up. I mean, obviously she's gonna have haters. There are some people that still accuse her of willing to sacrifice her morals and dignity to be with a billionaire. They were ripping her apart. At one point she had to defend herself and she was so calm. And she said, you know, this year was pretty sad and there's only like 3 words I can use to describe it. Fucking stupid, honestly, it's all fucking stupid. Like she said, I honestly don't have a more civil word to use. Regardless of what happened to the marriage at that point, you know, it's fucking stupid. Or even just like when it comes to life in general, it's just a fucking stupid journey sometimes. I mean, it's like everyone tells me I can be at peace when everything is settled, like with the lawsuit. But in reality, it's the complete opposite. When the external issues are all resolved, we humans, we just have to face our emotions. Life is not easy, okay? The first thing everyone does when they're born is they cry. And of course, life isn't going to stop because of someone's sadness. So the new year is still going to come around. And amid the fireworks and all of that, it's still going to happen because shit just happens. Okay, This is an interesting response. She is not focused on Richard's actions. She's not focused on their love story. She's focused on the fact that, you know what? Fucking shit happens in life, okay? And we just got to deal with it. You have shit happening in your life. I got shit happening in my life.
I feel like she's kind of been, not necessarily blasé, but we use the word blasé, like from the get-go, right? You know, being invited by that famous director to be in her movie, she's kind of like, I don't care, right? So she kind of just doesn't, she kind of just naturally had that I don't care attitude from the get-go.
Life and it's fucking stupid, but I gotta deal with it.
Wow.
Yeah, her reaction, like from a PR or business standpoint, it's pretty smart. So it doesn't paint her to be a weak person. It doesn't paint her to be someone with no like backbone because she's taking back her cheating husband, which, you know, is not saying that's what she is, but that's how the narrative would have been, right? And it's also showing some transparency. She's being relatable to a sense, but she's just being so blunt. Like, fucking shit happens, all right? Like, this year kind of sucked. Yeah, okay, whatever. Move on.
Wow, that is definitely a different take on these type of,
Yes.
you know, scandal.
I don't think I've really seen that. Even in the US, like all the celebrity scandals, it's always like, it was a moment of great regret and we're working to build our marriage stronger.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Wow.
she's like, it's fucking stupid. The whole thing was fucking stupid, okay? Like, what? I wish I had that attitude. Also, it was revealed that the two signed a prenup before getting married. And to put it simply, and again, I wouldn't take this.
Okay, well, I wouldn't have assumed that. Is that to say that she actually does, in fact, love this guy? Question mark. If she even, I don't want to say if she can love, because what if these two are actually, not psychopaths, but we'll say psychopaths, right? What if they're asexual? Question mark. And aren't actually able to love another person like that? Like, because, you know, who knows? I mean, that just came to mind right now. And maybe that's why the cheating thing isn't too big of a deal for her. I don't know. Just because of how much it seems like her personality revolves around, like, not caring about a lot of things. I don't know.
Verbatim. I imagine that she is getting well compensated in the form of shares, potentially property and other assets, but monetary.
Yeah, again, like, there's no... So saying, like, why wouldn't you leave him during some sort of controversial thing and then take half, but apparently she can't take half. So that's also a reason to not leave him? Question mark? Because if you're not going to get half, I guess you might as well just stay with him and keep your lifestyle going. I don't know.
straight cash. If they divorced within 10 years of their marriage, she would get $5. And people joked, that's not even enough to buy a nice high-end boba tea.
No, but she also has her own little business going
Oh,
on.
yeah,
So she's worth like tens of millions at least.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's getting her own money during this too, so she probably has a lot of money in her own bank.
Like,
Millions and millions of dollars.
that's what I'm saying. Like, she's got share options and she's like working. She's not like a trophy wife, which nothing's wrong with that, but she's like working. She's building connections. She's an independent woman. So what I'm saying about that is some people think like, oh, this was stupid of her to sign. Like, she's marrying this old guy and gets $5, but I'm saying like, no, trust me, if she walks out of this marriage, I believe she's smart enough to walk out winning. Yeah. So anyway, the civil lawsuit between Richard and the woman, Jay, came to an end in 2022. Resolved privately, both parties said it was all a misunderstanding and they came to a mutual agreement. And in October 2022, Richard came out with a statement on Weibo and he said, after 4 years, the case has finally concluded. Again, I want to apologize to all of those who have been troubled by this case, especially my wife. I want to thank my wife for her tolerance, support, and companionship. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have been able to even make it to this day. Time will move forward and I hope my life and work get back on track. And also, we're welcoming a new life and they're having a son. I will try
another
to help
child.
my family more. Wishing everyone a happy tomorrow. So this is
Trying to get the nuclear family going. One daughter, one boy.
like very emotional, very intense, right? Boba responds to her husband's tweet. And like, I don't know what I was expecting.
What is it going to be? Because I feel like she's been kind of okay with them, and apparently they've been lovey-dovey. So how weird is this going to be? Is it going to be some sort of a Wong to Tong thing level of like response or what?
I guess a lot of people were expecting like, it's okay, babe, we love you, we support you, right? There are ups and downs in life. Time will always move forward. That's her response. Okay, first of all, so blunt.
I don't know. That feels weird.
Right? But it gets crazier. In Mandarin, do you know?
I don't know.
In Mandarin, moving forward also sounds like, how do you say moving forward? Chen.
Chen?
Sounds like money. So people were joking and they were commenting back to her, ha ha ha, ha. There are always ups and downs in life, but money will grow with time. Money will move with time.
Okay.
Which is really smart. And people even think that she knew about the wordplay. And that's why she said it. To be like, haha, you stupid biz. You think I'm just like this little bitch that got cheated on?
I don't see her as like being like
aggressive.
Like here's a money pun.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
But if she was, good for her. That'd be so cool, no? But that's the story of the billionaire and the boba girl.
Wow.
And I just want to say, I stand boba girl. You know, I know some people are like, oh, I can't believe she took him back. Like, what the heck? She could do better on her own.
Yeah, wow.
But like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm just in awe of women, period.
Period.
That's it. Just all in a, yeah, that's it. No further thoughts on that one.
Like
But that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this one? That was crazy. I'm literally sweating right now. And again, Jack Ma,
I actually noticed that earlier. I didn't know if I should mention it or not, but I could tell that she's like, seemed like she's hot, but it's like, why are you wearing this long sleeve shirt? You got like what I assume is like a long, like ankle length skirt on, got the blanket on. You're like sweating buckets here on the couch. Like, why are you wearing all this stuff? It's like at some point you can like she lifted up her arm for some reason and you could see that she was sweating. That's the only reason I noticed. Plus, I mean, her face maybe you can tell as well. But yeah, I mean, she mentioned it, so I can just also further mention it. Yeah, I could tell that she was like sweating. It's like, yeah, why are you wearing all this stuff if you're in a hot room? Like, hello, take that blanket off faster.
we love you.
Yeah?
I don't know, but don't sue
You know
me.
him?
You're like accusing him, so I gotta, Daddy Ma, Kriti Ma. You like that? Anyway, that's it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to check out.
So that was that video. Nothing crazy here. I want to say it's pretty, not tame, but I guess we'll use the word tame video for the Chinaverse. Like nothing really too crazy or interesting happened. Like what was it? Just girl gets famous out of nowhere. She's super smart. Guy is super smart. He's a billionaire. They get together. Guy gets seduced by an industry plant. Lady stays with him. Yada yada yada. I mean, her having a picture with Bill Gates, that was probably like the craziest thing in here, I guess. A pretty chill video from the Chinaverse, I would say. I don't already know what could be doing next time. I mean, I have the list. I'll just have to pull up the list and then see. This is whatever's next in order of like time. Might be doing other stuff tomorrow because I feel like this month I don't have to be worrying about going to planned things. Like I don't know how to like phrase this with being as vague as possible. I don't have to go to any more planned things for the month, which was actually driving me crazy beforehand. So I can maybe just start actually just doing whatever I want. So I might actually try to start playing games on the channel again. Maybe start streaming as well. Though once December comes around, that's going out the window again. So who knows what's going to happen in December. But for November, we can at least try to get some extra content in that I should have been doing this entire time, but it just the moving and all this other stuff that's going on is just too much to deal with. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, or they will becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so we're working on watch time and subscribers, and if we have a throne now as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, and alexgkiller 880. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, comment. You know the do. See ya.